The effects are guaranteed to be remarkable when you combine RTX with one of the best first-person shooter franchises of all time. The inclusion of RTX in the recently restored Call of Duty: Modern Warfare is a little but pleasant addition for those who have it. While the impending remake of Modern Warfare 2 and the fan-favorite Warzone may be taking up most COD players' time these days, Modern Warfare is regarded as a crown gem of gaming, and it's fantastic to see it get the shine it deserves. Doom Eternal is a slam dunk pick to feature on the list of top RTX games, as players have found. While the game does not now support RTX, the creators at id Software have stated that the technology will be introduced in the future. RTX could offer a substantial degree of realism to these horrible surroundings, with magnificently rewarding finishing moves and a slew of terrifying foes lurking around every corner. Ray tracing has finally arrived in Minecraft, the popular block-style crafting game. While it may not appear that RTX will have much to give Minecraft, screenshots reveal a significant and apparent shift in the game's appearance. While the final version of RTX ray tracing is being polished, it is currently accessible to try out in beta form. While some argue that ray tracing is only useful for microscopic details, this is certainly not the case with Minecraft. The importance of comparison photos cannot be overstated. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a visual masterpiece and a highly anticipated chapter in a long-running franchise, and it only gets better with RTX and DLSS support. With ray tracing, the lighting effects in Shadow of the Tomb Raider really pop, creating fantastic atmospheres when you're cleaning caverns as Lara Croft. Eidos Montreal is hard at work on the upcoming Marvel's Avengers game, and it would be fantastic to have RTX support in that game as well. It's a strong assumption to claim that a game that hasn't even been released yet deserves to be at the top of the greatest RTX games list, but let's take a chance on this one. Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the most eagerly awaited games of all time, and if it's half as amazing as The Witcher 3, fans will be in for a treat. There's even a Cyberpunk 2077 Special Edition RTX 2080 Ti graphics card, and while only 200 of these were created and given away to lucky contest winners, these highly sought-after GPUs can be found on the resale market for a hefty buck. Say whatever you want on the subject. Despite its flaws and literary flaws, Bloober Team tried something new with the medium, and it had some interesting gimmicks that capitalized on the game's themes of trauma, death, and how it portrayed the afterlife. Though its split-screen cutscenes were somewhat baffling, its representation of two distinct regions at the same time was something not seen since masterpieces like Siren Blood Curse. You can now enjoy all those gorgeous, gloomy and horrific visions of the afterlife in stunning new RTX, because to how popular this achievement-filled, Akira Yamaoka-scored game has reportedly become. So, instead of playing the medium on medium, crank it up to 11 and revel in your interdimensional demons in a whole new light. When the God of War series returned triumphantly, violently, and loudly in 2018, it was universally adored, and properly so. The series delves further into the characters and addresses a number of serious and weighty issues, such as Kratos' guilt and fears of repeating the past, his acceptance of fatherhood, and so on. With the sequel, God of War: Ragnarok, making loud and flashy noises around the corner, now is as good a time as any to load up the game and stretch those ray tracing muscles. It's the newest addition to the big boy RTX crowd, and it's a spot it's earned appropriately since it's simply stunning. The massive lake is breathtaking, the many worlds are more colorful, and the lighting emphasis in places like the Dark Elf realm makes the environment look much more menacing and helps to set the tone of the setting. God of Boy is an excellent choice for RTX benchmarking if you want to see more polygons. The eventual consequence of combining Fallout and Chernobylite would be Atomic Heart. P3, a professional KGB agent, has been dispatched to investigate the events surrounding a disaster in the secretive and hyper-advanced Facility 3826 in this open-world RPG by Mundfish. Atomic Heart is a decent and gorgeous-looking game with a Soviet-era-esque Cyberpunk background. Despite the fact that it is technically not available yet, its release on both next-gen and PC is much anticipated since it boldly displays the RTX compatibility label in all of its marketing. It's expected to be a strong competitor to Fallout 5, so it's worth keeping an eye on if you're looking for a new RTX game to try. What better way to make everyone's favorite lovely boys look even more attractive than to dunk them in a vat of RTX graphics? Final Fantasy XV was a stress test on last-gen consoles, as those who played it can attest to over the scream of their PS4's box cooling fan. It's a stunning game from the start, so it's only natural that it'll get an RTX update. FFXV with RTX up and running is actually impressive for those with the setups that can run it. The frame rates are remarkably consistent even in some of the more intense regions and boss encounters, and Square Enix recently introduced a new benchmark mode that lets you stress test your system and see how gorgeous you can make Noctis and the boys seem. If you feared Dean Rocket Hall had vanished after DayZ's standalone stalled for a long time, you'll be relieved to learn that he's been working. Hall has created yet another open-world survival game, but this time with a twist. The game is set on an alien planet that, after a while, comes to a catastrophic end, and you must escape it. This allows you to carry over your skill points and stuff to the next planetfall, with death resulting in the irreversible loss of your character's progression. The biomes are enormous, packed with unpredictable weather and massive monsters ready to tear you apart. With a few RTX-powered tweaks, Icarus's huge landscapes become continuous zones that are lusher, bolder, and more visually striking.